This first example begins with the Lama saying something, and we have said at the end. So this entire phrase here is a quote, what he says. So first, what he says, we can pause right here at the rung, which is following a verb. And so verb rung is even if verb. So even if you go to your homeland, it will be difficult, here's the end verb of that phrase, to meet with your mother, or meeting your mother will be difficult. And then to go to the end of the next phrase, he says, I don't know, Miché. If, and what does he not know? It's this inside this phrase. If others will come immediately or directly. And this is in colloquial, some dialects of colloquial Tibetan, you put this before the verb to say something like whether or not, or to indicate a question. So I don't know whether or not others will come. Then let's go down to the next verb, the end of the next phrase. And here we have this which I think we've seen before, that means to be appropriate or suitable. And we have a fifth case marker here, lay, which is used in comparison. So it is not suitable or appropriate, or there is nothing more suitable or appropriate than permitting it if you go. That's kind of awkward in English, but in other words, then allowing you to go or permitting you to go now. And so, to take the third case that indicates a reason, and so dak mema, prepare, to go to the end of the verb, to prepare some good offerings. So this goes together, some good offerings. And then here's the imperative marker, here's the verb, to prepare offerings. Let's identify a few blocks of vocabulary first. So we have these oral instructions. We have Lord Naropa in the third case. We have I with a la case marker. And we have you with a la case marker. Then we have a verb with the auxiliary must give, connected by the sixth case with the noun prophecy. And then we have yuba, there is, in the third case. And it ends with chimbayin, which we know from context is this is Marpa speaking, and so he's saying, I gave Chimbayin something. So let's connect some of these case markers with verbs. So here we have, I have ngala yu. So what do I have? I have a prophecy of, or that, or which says, in this case, I must give to you. And what must I give to you? The oral instructions. And then here, it's a prophecy by Lord Naropa. So I have a prophecy by Lord Naropa that I must give them to you. the oral instructions. So sometimes we might see a ni here. So as for the oral instructions, I have a prophecy to give them to you by Lord Naropa. And so I gave them to you. Here we have the Lama in the third case, and said at the end, making all of this a quotation. So starting from the beginning of the quotation, just to get some vocabulary. Rangre mapu ni, we two, father and son, in this life, that's a case marker there, the ra, in this life, mitrebar du, we will not meet again. However, unkyang, later, and then Dakpa Kadra is a celestial pure land. So in a celestial pure land, we will meet. Tetsom maybe, there is no doubt. So tetsom is doubt. There is no doubt that we will meet in a future life in the Pure Land. And so, Gawar ki, rejoice. Here, let's look at the verb at the end of this first phrase. Tunchungwa, something slipped out. And they are the human bones, many human bones, that are gray and loose. So like a loose collection of grayish human bones slipped out. And this will make sense in the context when you read the story. And so back down to the verb at the end, I knew or I realized that they are the bones of my mother, with the sixth case, my mother's bones. And here's your continuative particle. And then missing her fiercely or remembering, Dren is remembering, and Dak is fiercely or strongly. So missing her so strongly or remembering her fiercely. Yi kyoa, I was sad, and I couldn't bear it. And this right here, this is a spelling mistake. The proper spelling for this word is here. Lak, same sound, same verb sounds the same, but it should be spelled like this. You'll find it in the dictionary like this. And then sem mi she, I couldn't think, and I couldn't speak. And here, depression, Yinglung, a depressed feeling arose. And here's a sixth case, so you might say a depressed feeling arose such that I couldn't think or speak. And Drotse Chung, it happened that I was about to faint. Drenmedu, I was about to faint. And finally, in our last sentence, let's just identify a few vocabulary words at the beginning. So, a few days there in that place, I was staying. And Zese is a character in the story. Zese Tsur, she felt or sensed, or she knew, we might say in English, she knew or she understood that I had been staying there for a few days. And then, let's go up to here. She came to meet me and brought good food and wine or beer. Good food and beer. she came to meet me, and then she hugged me and cried a lot, or to get the do in, she sat there and cried a lot. So she sat with me and crying a lot. And then let's go up to here, the verb 谢春伟. She explained, what did she explain? Two things. How, or the way of my mother's death, my mother's dying, how my mother died, and that my sister had gone wandering. So the way, she explained two things: how my mother had died and how my sister had gone wandering. And then up to here, this continuative particle, there emerged in me a great sadness. Shindu kyoa. So shindu is an adjective that means great, but it's an unusual, it's really an adverb. We use it in English as an adjective, but technically in Tibetan it would be an adverb. And it comes before the noun it modifies. So I was very sad, I was filled with great sadness, and Garang Yang, I also shed. Shor means to shed tears or to lose something. I shed many tears.